Having covered the symptoms and prevalence of bulimia nervosa, let's talk about its etiology, which means the causes of this mental disorder. First, let's focus on the biological factors of bulimia nervosa. There seems to be a significant genetic component in the development of this eating disorder. Indeed, Strawberry 2000 found that first-degree relatives of women with bulimia nervosa are 10 times more likely than average to develop the disorder. Likewise, in a twin study of over 1,000 female twins from Virginia, Kendra and Aliyah 2011 found that the concordance rate was 62% for identical twins, double the 31% for fraternal twins. It also seems that bulimia nervosa has physiological correlates in the neurochemical activity of the brain. Thus, Waltzing et al. 1994 found that reducing serotonin activity in animals increases food intake, while increasing serotonin activity had the opposite effect. This is consistent with Caruso 2000, who found lower levels of serotonin in bulimics. We already know that serotonin is thought to play a role in depression, and that Regan and Hirsch 1995 found that depression and binge eating were positively correlated. Binge eating is often compared to an addiction. Indeed, it does cause a flood of endorphins, which are naturally secreted in morphine, to rush through the brain. This lowers stress levels, causes numbness, pleasure, even euphoria. Kale et al. 2013 found that bulimics share dopamine receptor vulnerabilities comparable to those found in substance abuse disorder patients. Now let's move on to the cognitive factors of bulimia nervosa. Cognitive factors mean that bulimic behaviors stem from abnormalities at the psychological level, which means in the way the brain processes information, perception, evaluation, decision-making, etc. As we will see, such abnormalities can have biological correlates, however. A first cognitive explanation of bulimia nervosa is the so-called body image distortion hypothesis. This will explain the morbid dread of fatness, which we know to be the first symptom of bulimia nervosa. In 2011, Moore et al. Used fMRI to investigate the brain activity of 15 bulimics and 16 control patients during various cognitive tests. They found that when they had to estimate their body size, controls showed activation in a part of the brain known as the middle frontal gyrus. Bulimics did not. This is a representation of the middle frontal gyrus. In the same study, they found that when shown a distorted picture of their own body, controls displayed an activation in the lateral occipital cortex. Bulimics did not. Here is the occipital lobe. Both findings by Moore et al. 2011 seem to indicate a distinct cognitive deficiency linked to body image distortions in bulimics. The researchers even seem to have identified neural correlates of this psychological abnormality. Another cognitive explanation of bulimia nervosa is the dichotomous thinking hypothesis. Bulimics generally follow very strict dieting rules, which is part of the first symptom of bulimia, morbid fear of fatness. However, such restrictions lead to the second symptom, irresistible craving for food, and thus to an eventual slip. Because of the dichotomous thinking, which is an all-or-nothing approach, bulimics tend to binge eat whenever they break their own unrealistic rules. Polivy and Herman, 1995, found evidence of dichotomous thinking among dieters. They asked dieters and non-dieters to take part in what was presented to them as a taste test. Before the test, they gave to the participants a milkshake. Then they told them that they could eat as much as they wanted during the test. What they found was that dieters ate significantly more than non-dieters.
I binge on average at the moment about 4 times a week, perhaps 5 times a week, which isn't good. I'll think, do you know what, I'll just have a bowl of cereal, and then I think, you shouldn't have eaten that. And then I think, it was nice, I fancy another, so I'll have another bowl of cereal, and then I'll think, well, that's it, you've blown it now, you might just as well eat what the hell you want and get rid of it all.
Both the body image distortion and dichotomous thinking hypothesis can be integrated into Fairbairn 1981's cognitive behavioral binge-purge cycle model. As shown in this representation, bulimia nervosa is really a viciously self-reinforcing cognitive and behavioral cycle. It should be noted, however, that other psychologists propose different models, such as Byrne and MacLean 2002, who propose a purge binge cycle model. In reality, such diversity might come from the fact that bulimics are simply not all the same.